Five times a day, you meet the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, and you are directly connected to Him. Nothing and no one is in between.
What you're about to watch are excerpted videos from the United States Department of Education. These videos are part of the department's Islamic public school teaching program called Access Islam. The emphasis of these videos is to instruct students on how to follow the 5 pillars of Islam. This is the actual worksheet given to students grades 5 through 12 by the U.S. Department of Education. The 5 pillars of Islam include the proclamation of faith, Muslim prayer, fasting, charity, and pilgrimage to Mecca. The videos are used in the public schools alongside student worksheets. These worksheets expect students to answer such questions as what do Muslim prayers sound like? What do the movements look like? And what are some of the things Muslims say during prayer? Students are told to focus on learning about the core duties of Muslims, as well as have the students read about what it means to proclaim the faith or belief as a Muslim. Students are expected not only to learn passages from the Quran, but to explain the meaning of those verses found in the Quran. It is important to note that the U.S. Department of Education offers no similar program for Jews, Christians, Hindus, or any other of the world's major religions, just Islam. Pay particular attention to the language used in these U.S. Department of Education videos. They go beyond the pale of simply educating students on Islam. They clearly fall into the arena of teaching children how to become a good Muslim, how to perform Islamic rituals, and how to be pleasing to Allah. Taken as a whole, the U.S. Department of Education's Access Islam program is nothing more than a Sunday school class on Islam. Take a look.
A Muslim would pray 5 times a day. Before we pray, everyone has to make ablution. That is a way of cleansing. A prayer rug is not necessary for prayer. It's only something that you feel cleaner than other pieces that you can pray on. So as you enter the prayer, you say, Allahu Akbar, God is greater. When we say Allahu Akbar and we wave our hands to the back like this, it is symbolically kind of like saying, I am leaving the whole world behind me and I'm coming to you, O God, in submission.
The pilgrimage begins in Mecca, millions circling the Kaaba 7 times.
You wouldn't do this for no other man. You only do this for Allah. And so you go through this process because you know that you're doing it for Allah, and Allah will reward you for it.
According to the Quran, Satan taunted Abraham, telling him to ignore God's commandment to sacrifice his son. Abraham drove Satan away with stones. Muslims reenact Abraham's faithfulness, throwing stones, symbolically, at the many Satans who bedevil their daily lives and threaten society.
Did you yourself throw pebbles at the devil?
I did. I collected some pebbles at Muzdalifah, and I threw them at the devil. We all have devils, and I did enjoy tossing them and saying, take that, and I'm stronger than you. I'll beat you back.
But it's holy.
It is holy because it was the first house of worship for the one God. I've never before prayed with 2 to 3 million people all together in unison. And there's a great deal of power in that.
The first words revealed to Muhammad, and it says, read or recite in the name of your Lord. You can see the impulse to learning from the very first words of revelation.
The fasting time starts from the dawn to dusk, time of the sunset. If you are not fasting, you are not a complete Muslim.
For me, my relationship with God really comes from the Quran. Muslims feel that those are the literal words of God. Whenever I want to be close to God, it's a matter of pulling on that, going to the book, reciting it or hearing it recited. Those intonations really strike a chord in my heart.
Allah Akbar. Abdul Alim Mubarak means blessed servant of the all-knowing. Prophet Muhammad says, Allah's names are beautiful. Submit yourself to the attributes of God.
By 1973, this American-born Christian had found a new path.
And I said, ha, this is it. Respect for the true worship of God, with no intercessors, with no intermediaries. I worship the same God that many of them do.
Did you hear that? The United States Department of Education is telling children that it's okay to switch from Christianity to Islam, that by switching to Islam, you, the student, are now worshiping the one true God with no intercessors or intermediaries. This is a direct slap to Christians who believe that Jesus Christ is their personal intercessor and intermediary to God. And finally, the claim that Muslims worship the same God as Christians. This is absolutely untrue among many Christians who believe Allah is no more than a fabricated invention of a false prophet. But students won't know this by watching these Department of Education videos. As you'll see next, students are told that praying to Allah is nothing short of awesome.
When you make your prostrations anywhere in the world, you know you're facing the Kaaba, right? But to be right there, and you're bowing, and you're making right in front of the Kaaba itself, that is like, it's awesome. It's awesome.
The common goal, the worship of God.
The world over, Muslims swear there is no God but the one God.
This is what's called the ihram. And what happens is these are two pieces of unstitched cloth. So we put these two pieces of cloth on, and you wear nothing else. No underwear, no perfumes, no colognes, no deodorant, no nothing. You go there with your heart wide open, like an empty vessel, okay? And you come back full, just full of the Spirit of God in you. And you come back full. It does something to you. And you begin to cry, and you begin to think about it, and it's just like, it really just affects you in a profound way. Yeah, it's really real.